Hey BFFs, how are you guys doing today? I'm sure you can tell that I am a little hoarse and froggy, but I wanted to pop on and give you guys a surprise video, a health update. So let's get into this video. Okay guys, I am home from the hospital. Like I said, you can tell that I am very hoarse. I had a esophageal echocardiogram, and I had a right heart cath, both procedures done in the same day. There were some complications. The transesophageal echo is where it's like a EGD, but with a larger tube. They run it down your esophagus and they look at your heart through your esophagus. That procedure is usually done under twilight sleep. It's like a little sedation where you don't really remember. But because I have a history of waking up during twilight procedures, I think because I've had so many procedures, because y'all know I have chronic health issues, that you build up a tolerance to those types of medications. And with my oxygen levels dropping, they give you medicine, and then I would drift off to sleep. Well, my oxygen levels would drop, so they would wake me up to get me to breathe, and then I was kind of awake. That was the way it went. So the anesthesiologist made the call to intubate me and put me under general anesthesia, because he said he did not want me waking up during that procedure because it would have been extremely painful. So I'm thankful for that. Also, I was stuck numerous times. I've got bruises all over me. Several different nurses, 4 different nurses actually, tried to get IVs, couldn't get an IV, so they had to call the IV team in, and they had to put an IV in with an ultrasound. So I had the transesophageal echo. I was put to sleep for that. They did that procedure. They brought me back to the recovery room. I woke up from that procedure, and then after they did that, after I woke up, probably about, I don't know, an hour, 30 minutes to an hour after, they took me down to radiology, and I had to be awake for the heart cath. So what they do is they went in my neck through my jugular vein, and they put a big, kind of like a big IV kind of in there, and then they run a guide wire through, and they go in and they get the pressures from my heart. They look at my cardiac output. They check. What they were looking for was pulmonary hypertension, which is pretty much a death sentence. And thank God I did not have pulmonary hypertension. During the procedure, the cardiologist was stumped because he was like, your heart function is great. The pulmonology tests that I had were great, but my oxygen levels still drop. So as I was laying there, because you have to lay very still, I had to turn as far, I'm laying flat on my back, and I turned as far left as I could so that, you know, they could have access to the jugular while they're doing these tests. And he wasn't satisfied. He's like, okay, I'm not satisfied with just this. So he's like, we're gonna do some exercise. So they put a liter of IV fluid in one hand and a liter of IV fluid in the other hand. Now mind you, I'm under like an x-ray machine. There's big monitors here. So I watched them do everything. I could see everything. So he's like, we're gonna do some push-ups. Well, y'all, I pull of course I've got my arms out from under all the wires and everything. So I turn the bags of fluid like this and I'm gonna start pushing up, right? Well, the cardiologist is like, what are you doing? Well, sir, I'm doing what you asked me to do. You told me to do push-ups. He's like, no, not that. The one where you go like this. I'm like, are you talking butterflies? Now, y'all, I would figure a buff dude like the cardiologist, because he was eye candy. But, like, you would think he would know the difference between a push-up and a butterfly. But anyway, I start doing the butterflies, and I probably did several hundred butterflies. I am so sore. Like, I am so sore. But as I was doing the butterflies, he was like, faster, faster, faster. So I'm going as fast. Now, mind you, I'm laying flat on my back with my head turned as far as I can to the left. I've got this big cannula in my neck, a wire in my heart, and I'm just working my arms as fast as I can, because I'm strapped down from waist down, you know, and then I've got the kind of like the machine, it's kind of like an x-ray machine over the top of me. And then all of a sudden he starts getting very excited. I could hear it in his voice, and he's like, that's it, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then he starts barking orders. Now, he barked orders all the way through the thing. He had those people in interventional radiology homping, but yet towards me he was very calm, very pleasant. But to everybody, they were working. I mean, he had them go, you know, take this picture, this lab, blah, 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 because they pull blood, you know, out of the cath that's in your neck, and they run those tests immediately right there. They run those lab tests right there in the room. So he's getting really excited, keep going, keep going, keep going. And he's like, that's it. And he just screams out, that's it. Take that picture. And I guess he's yelling to the rad techs to snap the image. So I kind of relax a little bit, because he's like, that's it. You know, I'm thinking, okay. And he's like, no, go faster, go faster, go faster. And he was like, well, you weren't lying, were you? I don't know what you're talking about, but no, I don't make it a habit of lying. Like, what? He was like, you weren't lying about your oxygen. It's dropping, and we got a picture of it. It's right here. You are doing exactly, your body's doing exactly what you said it was doing. And I'm like, yeah, like, y'all know I've had chronic illness for 20 years. I've been dealing, I mean, it took 5 years for them to diagnose me with gastroparesis. Other physicians told me that it was in my head and I was making myself throw up. Now, of course, I knew that wasn't true. I love food too much for that mess. But it took them 5 years to run one tiny little test that showed that, sure enough, I wasn't making myself throw up, that it was gastroparesis, all because those physicians couldn't think outside the box. Well, I'm glad that the cardiologist did not accept just the standard, okay, she's lying flat, she's at rest thing. He worked my heart, and my heart showed itself somehow. The thing is, like I said, the positive news about this is it is not pulmonary hypertension, because like I said, there are very few treatments for that. There is absolutely no cure, and you cannot live without a heart. What happens with pulmonary hypertension is the pressures on the pulmonary side coming into the heart are strong. And do y'all remember the submarine that went down, the little sub that went down to the Titanic and it imploded? Okay, well, that happened because it crunched in on itself, because the pressure outside of the vessel was greater than the pressure on the inside. Well, that's what happens to a heart that has pulmonary hypertension. It implodes on itself. And y'all very well know you cannot live without a heart. So the good thing is I don't have pulmonary hypertension, but they don't know what is wrong. They know that somewhere in my body, unoxygenated blood is mixing with oxygenated blood, and that should not ever happen. I do have a hole in my heart, but it is a small hole. They don't think that that hole is big enough to be causing the drastic drop in my oxygen saturation levels. So you can see the big bruise right there. That's the one that hurts the most. I hate a hand stick, but I've got them all up my arm here. I think you can see it. I've got them here and over here and everywhere. And then of course I have the cut on my neck where they went in my jugular. He was going to call in some other cardiologist, of course the cardiologist that he works with, and some other cardiologists from around the United States that he knows, and they're going to have a conference to try to get some ideas as to what they may think this is. So the plan of action now is that I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to deal with wearing the oxygen all the time. I'm going to have to deal with the shortness of breath. So what I'll do is I'll have to get up, do what I can. When I get short of breath, when I get tired, I have to sit back down. So that's going to be a constant until we know more. So I wanted to update you guys. I read your comments. I thank you guys so much. I just thought it would be so much easier for me to get on here, give you guys an update as to what's going on, because y'all know I like to be transparent with you guys about my finances and about my health, because my health affects our finances. Also with hubby, I had just gotten home from the hospital and hubby had to go back to urgent care. He had another bad bout of vertigo, and he has a nasty ear infection. I kind of figured that's what it was, but because hubby has had, he had tubes put in his ears when he was really young. He was almost completely deaf when he was little, because he just had chronic ear infections. As a matter of fact, he took so much antibiotics when he was little that it stained his teeth gray. They don't give those antibiotics to children now because of that side effect, but back in the day that they did. And but yeah, he's got 2 doses of his antibiotics, and he says he is starting to feel better. He is supposed to go back to work on Friday. So I was like, oh my goodness, all this just happening in one whack. Like, what's the chances? But I am home. I feel so much better at home. I am hoarse. Right now, my favorite thing in the world is chloroseptic spray. You know, that sore throat spray that tastes horrible. But my throat is killing me. See, I just keep water because it's like, ugh. But I just wanted to say thank you guys, and I appreciate all your thoughts, your prayers, your positive energies, and it's just a blessing, like I said, that it was not pulmonary hypertension, because all the signs and symptoms pointed directly to that. Like, my symptoms look like classic case of pulmonary hypertension. But my heart looks good. The pressures are where they're supposed to be. The output's where they're supposed to be. My lung function is good. We just got to figure out why unoxygenated blood is mixing with the oxygenated blood and fix it. So, y'all will see the video tomorrow, Friday's video. That was pre-recorded, so I'm just gonna let it go, and I will be back to a regular schedule on Monday. So, thank you guys so much. Until next time, friends.